What is happening, Shady Spotlight fam? Get ready to dive headfirst into the absolute latest, the most talked about, the news that you absolutely cannot afford to miss. The information superhighway is moving at warp speed, and we're here to give you the front row seat to it all. From surprising confessions that shake up the music world to the intense dedication behind bringing iconic figures to life on screen, we've got the breakdowns you need. Buckle up, because this is your essential download of what's buzzing, what's breaking, and what's going to keep you talking. We're cutting through the noise to bring you the stories that matter, the moments that define, and the details that will make you say, wow. Don't get left behind, stay plugged in with Shady Spotlight. First up, we've got a bombshell revelation from Aaron Lewis, and he's calling out a legendary artist, claiming he was duped. We're talking about a song that a generation knows and loves, and Lewis is ready to spill the tea on how he feels he was misled. You're going to want to hear this perspective, especially from an artist with his own significant voice in the industry. What was the song, and what's the real story behind this shocking admission? We're diving deep into the details. Next, we're stepping into the world of film with a look at the highly anticipated Bruce Springsteen biopic. Jeremy Allen White, star of The Bear, is taking on the monumental task of portraying the boss, and he's opening up about the immense leap of faith it took to embody such an icon. White shares his initial fears about singing and playing guitar for the role, and director Scott Cooper is weighing in on why White was the perfect choice. This film isn't just about music, it's about capturing the essence of a legend. Get ready for the behind-the-scenes scoop on how this cinematic journey is unfolding. And finally, we're taking a trip down memory lane with a legendary encounter that almost happened. Bruce Springsteen, in his younger days, made a daring move that brought him face-to-face with the king of rock and roll himself, Elvis Presley. We're talking about jumping the wall of Graceland. Springsteen recounts the incredible story of his unannounced visit and what he hoped to achieve. It's a tale of admiration, ambition, and a moment that still resonates decades later. Stay tuned for all these incredible stories and more. Hit that like button, subscribe so you don't miss a single update, and ring that notification bell to be the first to know. A legend's confession, Aaron Lewis calls out Springsteen's song. Aaron Lewis, the acclaimed musician known for his raw honesty and powerful lyrics, has dropped a bombshell that's sending ripples through the music world. In a candid admission, Lewis has stated that he feels duped by a song from none other than the iconic Bruce Springsteen. This is a significant claim from an artist who, like many, has long held Springsteen's work in high regard. Lewis expressed his deep frustration, admitting, "I'm angry at myself for not seeing it for so long." This statement alone sparks immediate curiosity. What song is he referring to, and what exactly did he fail to see for so long? The context of Lewis's statement suggests a profound realization about the lyrical content, or perhaps the underlying message of a particular Springsteen track. While the specific song remains a mystery for now, the implication is that a beloved piece of music may hold a hidden layer or a meaning that Lewis only recently uncovered, leading to feelings of betrayal or misdirection. This isn't just a casual observation. It's a personal reckoning with art that has likely shaped his own musical journey and that of countless fans. Lewis's career, marked by his transition from the hard rock band Staind to a successful solo country music career, has always been characterized by a willingness to confront difficult emotions and speak his mind. This outspoken nature makes his critique of Springsteen particularly noteworthy. It raises questions about artistic integrity, the interpretation of lyrics, and the lasting impact of a song that has resonated with millions. Was it a misinterpretation on Lewis's part, or is there a more complex narrative behind Springsteen's songwriting that has been overlooked? The music industry often thrives on the mystique surrounding its biggest stars, and Bruce Springsteen, the boss, is certainly no exception. His music has provided the soundtrack to countless lives, often celebrated for its authentic portrayal of the American experience, its themes of working-class struggles, and its anthemic calls for hope and resilience. For Lewis to suggest that this carefully constructed image or message might have been a form of deception is a bold accusation that challenges the very foundation of Springsteen's legacy for some. Fans and critics alike will undoubtedly be dissecting Lewis's words, searching for clues to identify the song in question. The revelation forces a re-examination of Springsteen's vast catalog, prompting listeners to consider whether other songs might carry similar hidden meanings or complexities. This situation highlights the power of music to evoke deep emotional responses and the vulnerability that artists can feel when their interpretations are challenged. As Lewis grapples with his own feelings of being duped, the music world waits to see if other artists or fans will come forward with similar sentiments, potentially reshaping how a beloved artist's work is perceived. But what happens when the music isn't just a song, but a whole life story brought to the big screen? Get ready, because we're about to dive into the incredible journey of bringing the boss to life in a brand new biopic. Jeremy Allen White's Springsteen Leap of Faith. Hollywood is gearing up for a major cinematic event with the upcoming Bruce Springsteen biopic, Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, set to hit theaters this October. Taking on the monumental task of portraying the legendary, the boss, is none other than Jeremy Allen White, the Emmy-winning star of the critically acclaimed series, The Bear. White recently sat down to discuss the immense challenge and the leap of faith required to step into Springsteen's iconic shoes, revealing that he had never sung professionally before this role. White's initial apprehension was palpable. "I had never really sang anything, never mind Bruce," he admitted to the Associated Press. This lack of prior singing experience, coupled with no guitar skills, presented a significant hurdle. However, director Scott Cooper, known for his work on films like Crazy Heart and Black Mass, had unwavering confidence in White. Cooper explained his choice by highlighting White's possession of two crucial qualities that embody Springsteen: humility and swagger. He elaborated, "And they don't teach swagger at Juilliard. You either have it or you don't. I was never concerned. He's sensational." This faith from both the director and Springsteen himself was instrumental in White's commitment to the project. The biopic takes an unconventional approach to the music biopic genre. Instead of a sweeping, cradle-to-grave narrative, Deliver Me From Nowhere narrows its focus to a specific, pivotal period in Springsteen's career: the creation of his stark, minimalist 1982 solo album, Nebraska. This album, famously recorded on a 4-track recorder in Springsteen's New Jersey bedroom, is a far cry from a typical jukebox musical, delving into raw, introspective themes. The film aims to capture the soul and artistic process behind this seminal work, rather than just showcasing hit songs. Nebraska itself was a significant departure for Springsteen, featuring 10 songs that explored tales of blue-collar workers, infused with his own childhood memories and rooted in a rich American storytelling tradition. The raw, unvarnished nature of the recordings, initially intended as demos for the E Street Band, ultimately defined the album's unique character. White sees the film as a reflection of the artistic process itself, noting, "He was drawing inspiration from all these places, but he didn't really know what he was doing for a while with this record. He didn't know if it was going to be a record. As an actor, hopefully you're doing that sort of thing all the time. That artistic curiosity is something I related to." To prepare for the role, White underwent intensive training, working with vocal coach Eric Vetro, guitar instructor J.D. Simo, and music supervisor Dave Cobb. A pivotal moment for White occurred during a 48-hour recording session in Nashville, where he felt he truly found his confidence and a deeper connection to Springsteen. He specifically mentioned the song My Father's House as a track that resonated deeply, allowing him to explore its nuances and feel closer to the artist he was portraying. Springsteen himself was involved in the film's development, offering input on the script and casting, and even spending time on set. Director Cooper noted Springsteen's gracious presence, stating, "Bruce is very gracious. He was trying to make himself as small as possible on set, but that's very difficult for Bruce Springsteen." The film also features Jeremy Strong as Springsteen's longtime manager John Landau, who was also involved from the project's inception. Cooper views the film as more than just a musician's story. He sees it as a portrait of America's soul, with Springsteen as its blue-collar poet and reluctant moral conscience. The film's production was also personally challenging for Cooper, who experienced significant personal loss during filming, finding solace and support from White, Springsteen, and the cast and crew. From the intimate process of creating music to the grand narratives of rock legends, we're covering it all. But what happens when a legendary artist's own past actions become the subject of a captivating story? Jeremy Allen White's Springsteen, Leap of Faith in Biopic. The cinematic world is buzzing with anticipation for Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere, a new biopic delving into the life of rock icon Bruce Springsteen, with the Bear star Jeremy Allen White stepping into the formidable role of the boss. White, who grew up immersed in Springsteen's music, admits that the prospect of embodying the legend on screen was a significant undertaking, requiring what he describes as a profound leap of faith. The actor candidly shared his initial concerns about his ability to sing and play the guitar, skills essential for portraying Springsteen authentically. "I had never really sang anything, never mind Bruce," White confessed, highlighting the daunting nature of the challenge. "There was a leap of faith that we were all taking." Fortunately, director Scott Cooper, renowned for his work on Crazy Heart and Black Mass, harbored no doubts about White's suitability for the role. Cooper lauded White's innate qualities, stating, "I knew that he had the two qualities that really embody Bruce, humility and swagger. And they don't teach swagger at Juilliard. You either have it or you don't. I was never concerned. He's sensational." This confidence was echoed by Springsteen himself, who, along with his wife Patty Sylfa and manager John Landau, was involved in the film's production, offering crucial input and support. Deliver Me From Nowhere eschews the conventional music biopic formula. Instead of chronicling Springsteen's entire career, the film centers on a specific, transformative period: the making of his critically acclaimed 1982 album, Nebraska. This album, a departure from Springsteen's stadium rock anthems, was recorded in a sparse, intimate setting, reflecting themes of desolation and working-class struggles. The film aims to capture the raw, artistic essence of this seminal work, exploring Springsteen's creative process and the introspection that fueled it. White found a deep connection to the film's focus on artistic exploration. He was drawing inspiration from all these places, but he didn't really know what he was doing for a while with this record, White observed. "As an actor, hopefully you're doing that sort of thing all the time. That artistic curiosity is something I related to." To prepare, White collaborated with vocal coach Eric Vetro and guitar instructor J.D. Simo, undergoing rigorous training. A turning point came during a recording session in Nashville, where he felt a surge of confidence and a closer understanding of Springsteen's artistry. The film's narrative is also interwoven with Springsteen's personal life and his evolving public persona. Cooper noted Springsteen's humility on set, despite his global fame, and praised his enduring moral compass. "What was important to him remains his art, yes, but it's his family and Patty. All of his morals are right in line, what I consider to be right in line," White commented. Cooper further elaborated on Springsteen's significance, calling him the symbol of something that's uniquely American: the blue-collar poet, the reluctant moral conscience. "I think to make a film about Bruce is to make a film about America's soul." The production itself was a deeply personal journey for Cooper, who faced significant loss during filming, finding strength and support from White and Springsteen. From the intimate world of artistic creation to the powerful narratives of cultural icons, we're bringing you the stories that shape our understanding. But what happens when fandom leads to an audacious, almost unbelievable real-life encounter with a legend? Springsteen's Graceland Gambit, a near miss with Elvis. Bruce Springsteen, a musician whose own legend looms large in American culture, once found himself on the wrong side of the fence at Graceland, the iconic Memphis home of Elvis Presley. In a tale that highlights the profound impact Elvis had on a young Springsteen, the boss recounts an audacious attempt to meet his idol that, while unsuccessful, has become a legendary anecdote in its own right. The incident occurred during Springsteen's Born to Run tour, a period when his own star was rapidly ascending. Springsteen, accompanied by E Street Band member Stevie Van Zandt, decided to make an unannounced visit to Graceland. Driven by youthful enthusiasm and immense admiration, Springsteen vividly recalls the moment. "And it took us out there in the middle of the night, and I remember we got out of the cab, and we stood there in front of those gates with the big guitar players on them." Spotting a light on in the second story of the house, Springsteen became convinced Elvis might be home. He famously told Van Zandt, "Steve, man, I gotta go check it out," and proceeded to jump up over the wall. As Springsteen made his way up the driveway, his intention was clear: to meet the man who had inspired him so deeply. He approached the front door, ready to knock, but his attempt was intercepted by security. Guards emerged from the woods, questioning his presence. When Springsteen asked if Elvis was home, he was informed that Presley was in Lake Tahoe. In a determined effort to make an impression, Springsteen even presented his own credentials, mentioning his status as a guitarist, his band, his records, and even having his picture on the cover of Time and Newsweek. However, the security guard remained unimpressed, gently escorting Springsteen back to the street. Looking back on the event, Springsteen acknowledges the impulsiveness of his actions, admitting, "I started running up the driveway, which, when I look back on it now, was kind of a stupid thing to do because I hate it when people do it at my house." Yet, the experience left him with a lasting sense of wonder about what might have been. He often pondered what he would have said if he had managed to meet Elvis. Later on, "I used to wonder what I would have said if I'd knocked on the door, and if Elvis had come to the door because it wasn't really Elvis I was going to see," he reflected. Springsteen elaborated on the deeper significance of Elvis's influence, suggesting that Presley represented a shared dream. But it was like he came along and whispered some dream in everybody's ear, and somehow we all dreamed it. And maybe that's why we're here tonight, I don't know, he mused during a live performance where he recounted the story. This anecdote serves as a powerful testament to the enduring impact of musical heroes and the indelible mark they leave on aspiring artists, shaping their dreams and their very paths. From near misses with legends to capturing their essence on film, we're exploring the stories that define music history. Ready for a quick recap of everything we've covered today? All right, that's a wrap on today's Shady Spotlight. We heard Aaron Lewis's surprising take on a Bruce Springsteen song, got the inside scoop on Jeremy Allen White's challenging portrayal of the boss in a new biopic, and relived Bruce Springsteen's legendary attempt to meet Elvis Presley by jumping the wall at Graceland. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to Shady Spotlight for all your essential updates, and ring the notification bell so you never miss a moment. Plus, drop a comment below telling us your favorite Springsteen song, and make sure to follow us on all social media platforms to stay connected. We'll see you next time.